So let's dive into how magnesium supports the immune system. If you're dealing with chronic disease states and infections, why this could be a benefit to you. And as always, you want to check with your provider to make sure magnesium is right for you and which form, because there's lots of forms that support the brain and the body. And I love L-threonate, glycinate, and magnate for mental wellness and its neuroprotective components. But all magnesiums are fabulous, but they have very specific reasons why they work and why they don't. If you want to learn more about our magnesium, you can go to drroseann.com/magnesium. Pretty excited for our multi-mag brain formula. So let's talk about how this helps our immune system. So first of all, magnesium supports the cell function and activity. So it's essential for various immune cells. We need our immune cells to respond effectively to infection, and magnesium is an essential component to that, which may be a surprise to you. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing it. I know that, when my family had COVID, we took a lot of things, including vitamin D and A and whatnot. But magnesium is an essential. We take it anyway, but we were taking extra because we really wanted to sleep, to be honest. But that's just one of many types of illnesses. Those are everyday illnesses. It can lead to long haulers, but all of my PANDAS folks, and certainly all of my people that have mental health issues, are looking for ways to support their immune system so that their mental health continues to improve and that activation in our immune function isn't working against us like in PANS and PANDAS. So magnesium is required for protein synthesis, production of antibodies, and other immune system proteins are vital for our immune response. We need magnesium to support that protein synthesis, right? And then energy production. So I've talked about energy production before, and it's essential for energy production. And, we need our cells to have enough power in order for our immune system to function. Of course, we need it for everyday things, but this is why a lot of our kids who have autism or other, neurodevelopmental issues, ADHD, they're prone to more sensitivities and reactions in their immune system because they don't have enough energy production. So magnesium has anti-inflammatory properties. It reduces inflammation, and so much research is coming out. I mean, no surprise to us that are in the functional world that inflammation is tied to mental health issues. It's also tied to medical issues. Pharma is actively working on a lot of drugs reducing inflammation because we know through research, we know through looking at inflammation markers in the blood, but also post-mortem studies that it's pretty common in people with mental health issues. So we are really specifically talking about our immune system, but inflammation, right, which falls along the lines of our immune system, is tied to mental health. We see this over and over and over again in our research. So, okay, oxidative stress. So magnesium reduces that, and it plays a role, magnesium, in neutralizing free radicals, which destroy, a lot, and oxidative stress. And this is incredibly helpful for so many things, but we need to make sure that our cell health is in tip-top shape, regardless of whether it's a mental health or a physical issue. Our immune system has a big role. So magnesium assists in the removal of toxins. I mean, aside from inflammation being a big, area where we're just learning so much more about how it affects mental health, we're also learning that toxins, right, which drives inflammation, but toxins and improper detoxification, which happens, like, I could go on and on and on. We should have a whole episode about improper detoxification. Yes, let me know in the comments if you want that. But We know that improper detoxification leads to mental health issues, right? And we're seeing this in our genetic variants that impact how we detoxify, and magnesium supports the detox process. So that's really something that's an incredible asset that it does. So, our enhanced barrier functions, right? So, when magnesium helps maintain the integrity of barriers within our system. Not exactly what you always think. I mean, we have our blood brain barrier, right? And only glycinate crosses the blood brain barrier. It's the only form of magnesium. This is a good thing. It gets in there real quick. That's why our multi mag brain formula, our people who have tried it have said that, they're noticing it in minutes. Everyone has their own unique experience, but it's been pretty awesome. But it's also our intestinal wall and our skin, right? Our skin is our largest organ. Don't forget that. And our gut and our skin really are the first line of defense against pathogens. So if it's really helping to enhance barriers, then obviously we're much less likely to get everyday illnesses. And I don't think a lot of us think about skin as, something that reflects. Certainly, we see if you have healthy skin, it reflects health, but we don't think about it as infection, right? But it is. So, regulating calcium levels. So, magnesium regulates calcium channels, and balanced calcium signaling is needed for immune cell function, right? And isn't our immune system fascinating? There's so many complexities to it. And think about this. This is why it's the most used nutrient. 300 processes require it. And in the time of COVID that we're in, we need our immune system in tip top shape, right? And, there's so many other mental health benefits we'll be talking about in the next episodes of magnesium, the next two episodes. So you get all these bonus components too, besides just supporting the immune system. It's really helpful for anxiety, for stress, for attention, for learning. So there's other benefits. Okay. So it supports those in chronic disease states, right? So it reduces inflammation, it reduces oxidative stress, it improves detoxification. So you're going to be in a reduced risk for chronic disease states. Now, if you're already in a chronic disease state, which many of my peeps are, this can be a way to support it. And you absolutely want to talk to your provider. I know a lot of my chronic disease state individuals, whether it's, autoimmune diseases, it's PANDAS, Lyme disease, you're already working with a functional provider because you realized, what you were doing wasn't working. So always check and make sure, because there might be one that's really needed for you. So it's protection against DNA damage, and it's involved in the DNA repair process. And when you have DNA damage, you're at greater risk for things like cancer, and where cells, literally go crazy and start not working in the way that they should. So it's protection against really damage at the cellular level. It really can help you. So magnesium is needed for the activation of vitamin D. Love vitamin D. So it is our second most used. That's our, vitamin in the body. And it is, I think during COVID, we also got to see how important it was. If you are living in a northern state, you 100% are vitamin D deficient. They estimate that up to 70% of the US population is vitamin D deficient, between people putting sunblock on really, really quickly, not ever being outside for 15 or 20 minutes and staying inside more. Kids are staying inside more. We are vitamin D deficient, right? You can easily get your vitamin D levels checked. There are also many genetic variants that impact how vitamin D is utilized in the body, and sometimes supplementation is required as a result. But we talked about all the ways magnesium supports your immune system. Isn't it pretty cool how amazing one nutrient? That's why we're starting with our multi-mag brain formula. You can go to drroseann.com/magnesium to learn more. But it is a powerhouse, and we need all these things. So join us tomorrow as we dive into the mental health benefits of magnesium.